fundamental to entire that to have a specialist research facility. Other have started directed. We have started program as here there were only master's program, so bachelor's in administration. Again, we have Kumar Business School as well, like you School of Energy and Environment. Effort attempt to go out and reach out to the market. So science or core civil engineering, what they want to do. If they want to become AI, ML, or a computer engineer, they can actually equip themselves with all skill sets, and then they can contribute to the profession or the softwares or platform development which are related to civil engineering and environment. That's where we are. We have started School of Architecture. So all this gives a so vibrant atmosphere onto the campus, and I would request all of you to send my personal invitation to visit Pune campus and other campuses as well to get a feel of what more is going on. We got great focused and oriented students sites, which has become an integral part of that. Here from the university make sure that they make sure that the students get best opportunity. And I remember the kind of enthusiasm. If you come from Pune side, there is called Chandni Chowk and have been very controversial. Our students were on site at 2 a.m. on that bridge. So, looking at the future, we have started developing a strategy 2030, and strategy 2030 actually binds all the effort in one document of about 15 pages, which look at all these 6 pillars, that how we can be excellent in teaching and learning, how can we become excellent in research and innovation, how can we bring internationalization, how can we do the employability and enterprise part, and how can we become really good education campus with people and culture, the place with state-of-the-art digital and sustainable facilities. This is required because all the QS ranking and Times ranking, they all fall under these 5-6 parameters, and if we excel, then we are really on the top of the ranking table, and that's where our global positioning um, um, would bring more and more laurels and more quality to what we do. So all that exciting stuff going on, I thought I would update you. This is one of the opportunity that where your alma mater has gone and what kind of new initiatives we have been involved into. And it is under the able sort of visionary um, direction of Shri Labchand, who is now regularly in touch with the campuses. And you would see more now in Pune campus or other campuses than parent company. And that is really exciting, and that is really inspiration from. So with that, I again would like to extend my invitation to all of you to visit the campus and bring any thoughts or inputs. I really welcome your inputs into developing and shaping your own institute into a world-class unity, world-class institution, and we are always there to welcome you. Thank you very much.
If I can request. Thank you so much, Professor Anil, for such detailed updates. For a lot of people have had such beautiful expressions on their faces. In fact, so much of nostalgia must be happening. Been done that. Thank you very, very much for that. And of course, thank you for sharing the vision for 2080 with all of us. On that note, may I please request Mr. Sivan and do the honors. Giving away the token of appreciation to Professor Anil Kashyap, please. Sure.
Vanakkam, Mumbai. I was from the second batch, which was the makeshift campus. And right now, the oldest batch who are standing here have come down. And that is also because we love the alumni. We see nostalgic. And we are so happy. He has taken over. He has been such a very good interactive and a proactive alumni networking. I think after all of my
that Sushma is unwell and she couldn't hear. So, but she's been very gracious to send us a message. So, can we have your message, please?
Good morning to everyone. I'm really delighted to be with you on this virtual platform. Though I wished that I would be there with you face to face to interact with all of you and Association of Nikmarians, Nikmar University are organizing this annual symposium of professionals in infrastructure and real estate 2024, named as AGNI ASPIRE 2024. I'm sure this event will bring all the Nikmarians, global plus Indian Nikmarians together. They'll come together, decorate each other, listen to the keynote address by various experts. I'm sure panel discussions will also bring forward point of view to help you in your own day-to-day working in your organization. I'm sure it's going to be an enriching experience for all of you. Recently, I had attended the Global Alumni Meet in Dubai, Taj, and it was a wonderful experience. I was really surprised and aghast to see the way it was planned. It was seamlessly planned with well-organized speakers, the program. Similarly, this alumni meet will come forward with a thought process to support the alma mater. So it's my appeal to the alumni that please come together and give back to your alma mater, and that can be a form of supporting the students who are studying. So juniors, you can support them through your expert talks, through industry interaction, by providing them internships, guiding them for their future career through expert talks, and lots of events can be organized wherein the seniors, I will say the alumni, will guide the juniors towards success in their life. I also want to introduce a concept of gratitude fund, because any university is known because of its alumni. And if this gratitude fund is created by alumni, then it will help the university to support the economically weaker students to pursue their education. So you can support them through their tuition fees, you can support them through their hostel, boarding and lodging charges. So there are various means by which you can support existing students in the Nigma University to pursue their studies. University and take it to the next level. Your global exposure, your exposure to the construction field, your exposure in your own job profile, your networking, I think all this will really help university to develop the current students. Once again, all the best, and I'm really missing the function by not being able to attend it physically, but wish you all the best, happy networking, happy getting together, and again, once again, give back to the alma mater. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the please take care of yourself, and of course your presence is stress. Before I move forward, I want to sincerely thank all our sponsors who've supported this conference for all of us. So a big thank you to all our sponsors for supporting this initiative. And on that note, let's quickly have a look at our Surat Build. Have the video.
Private Limited is a leading construction company in industrial constructions, executing projects in pharmaceutical, FMCG, automobile, heavy engineering, chemical, electronics, warehousing, agriculture, and institutes.
Thank you, Suraj Bilkon, for the video. Up next, we have Bexel India. Can we have the video, please?
Exciting digital revolution, integration, automation, innovative development. The construction industry faces major shortfalls due to inefficient traditional approach, miscommunication, lack of planned information management. Shifting towards automation and data construction management increases productivity and unleashes huge growth potential. Excel Manager is a unique, intelligent solution developed to maximize the benefits of building information modeling with a digital construction workflow, employing massive computing power to the captured expert logic. Our platform delivers the optimal construction schedule and cost analysis, saving as much as 5% of estimate. Excel Manager has been localized in languages and successfully implemented on a variety of projects around the world. It is used by academics in more than 140 countries within BIM project management studies and research.
Overview of Beck's solution is.
Together.
Thank you so much, Bexel India, for the video. And last but not least, let's have a quick look at our Collab Tools window. Can we have video, please?
Construction projects tend to be complex because it has a lot of moving parts of material, labors, and equipment. Multiple stakeholders are working on the field. If things are handled in a fashion way, then the team spends most of its time in checking data and trying to align communication with the rest of the team than actively working on the project. Organizations wide digitization and are bringing innovation to their businesses. The construction industry has yet to fully read the benefits of digitalization. Introducing Collab Tools, a next-generation platform for end-to-end project management and collaboration. A smart cloud-based integrated data collection and analytics platform for all construction project management activities in real time. The entire project structure is configured with defined locations, activities, quantities, rate analysis, schedule, work packages, APIs, and scenarios. This structure forms the backbone of the system. Data collected from site progress, quality checklists, snags, debit notes, and material together form an auto-generated contractor billing summary. Most companies that are getting the data from MIS from the field are getting it at least 2 weeks after progress and production have been manually calculated. If something has gone wrong, it takes a month to come to manage notice, but it's already too late. Efficiency is the key to profits. Digitalization, automation, and data intelligence is going to change construction industry. Inventory management, facility and handover management, drawings management, RFIs, and meetings management. Collab Tools has it all. Be a part of the change and get on board. Let's change the industry. Let's collab.
Thank you, Collab Tools, for the video. All right, time to take a 10-minute short break. Enjoy your tea and coffee. I'm all refreshed. And we'll be sharp in 10 minutes to start the next part of the evening's conference. So 10 minutes and we'll see you. Thank you. quick announcement. As I mentioned on stage, it's a very short, tiny break. So if I can request all of you to carry your tea and coffees and aside so that we begin in a few minutes, please. Also, if I may request to pass this to your colleagues and friends outside, that they can carry their tea and coffee inside, and we can start the next part of the conference in a few minutes, please. Thank you.
ऑडियो नहीं आया ना तो मेरी गांड लग जाएगी मन में।
if I can request all of you to kindly be seated, and also if I can request you to inform your colleagues and friends outside to kindly step in and take their seats so that we can begin the proceedings of the day. So a humble request to all of you to kindly be seated. If you can hear me and see me, one more request for you to kindly be seated. Tea and coffee break is over and we're all set to start the proceedings, the second part of the proceedings of this conference. So if I can humbly request all of you to kindly take your seats, please. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure we all had our tea and coffee moment. We are all energized, we're all refreshed. And if you can hear me, our next speaker is quite excited and quite ready. And it's been a while that he's very ready, but he has only one condition, that he's requested all of us to kindly be seated. So if you can hear me, please request to take your seats, please. We'll get a lot of time for networking. We'll have a lunch break, and then of course, post the conference, we have all the time under the sun to sort of network and know each other very, very well. But meanwhile, if I can request you to kindly take your seats, please. So, if I can request all of you to kindly be seated, please. All the picture moments and everything will happen, but meanwhile, if we can settle down so that we can start the next set of proceedings, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to invite our next speaker on stage. I'm sure we're very, very excited to know what is he going to speak and the much anticipated project that he's going to speak on. So without further delay, please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as I invite Mr. Santosh Rai, Chief Business Officer, Hindustan Construction Company, to kindly step on stage, who's going to speak on the Mumbai's much awaited coastal road projects. Let's have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Santosh Rai.
Good morning, everyone. It's really good to see, the excitement around here. I won't take
May I request everyone to take their seats, please. The next speaker is already on the stage. Request everyone to take a seat, please.
Thank you everyone. Good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, my seniors, professors. In fact, I'm highly thankful to AGNI to give this opportunity to come and speak and share some of my thoughts
if I can
on managing large
request all of you
infrastructure
to kindly be
projects.
seated, please.
As an introduction, I won't take much time introducing HCC. In very brief, transport is something
next
which
set of
we started as
proceedings,
our
please.
company's career. We built the first tunnel connecting Mumbai and Pune at Borghat, and that was the first railway tunnel. Since
All
then,
right,
the
ladies and
company has
gentlemen,
created
it's time to
several
invite our
infrastructures
next
which are
speaker on
important to the
stage.
nation.
I'm sure
Largely
we're
have
very,
been
very
inaugurated by
excited
then
to
Prime
know
Minister or President of the
what
country.
is he going to speak
To give you a
and
feel of
the much
the other sectors where
anticipated
we
project
are,
that he's going to
we
speak
work for
on.
nuclear sector
So
where
without
we have
further
done
delay,
more than 65%
please put your
of
hands together,
country's
ladies
nuclear
and
power plants.
gentlemen, as
We have
I
done
invite
more than 30% of hydropower
Mr.
capacity of
Santosh
the
Rai,
country.
Chief Business Officer, Hindustan
Name a river
Construction
in the
Company,
country
to
and I
kindly
think we would
step
have
on
bridged it.
stage,
We have
who's
bridged
going to
Brahmaputra
speak
for more
on the
than 3
Mumbai's
times.
much awaited
So that's the
coastal
organization I'm
road
representing.
projects. Let's have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Santosh Rai.
Without taking much of the introduction part. Green is for forward, right? Won't be surprising, maybe 20, 30 years from now, we'll be spanning 5 kilometers. So green is for forward, right? Push us. And I think won't be surprising, maybe 20, 30 years from now, we'll be spanning 5 kilometers. So green is for forward, right? Push us. And I think won't be surprising, maybe 20, 30 years from now, we'll be spanning 5 kilometers. And I think that is something in offing right now. Second thing is economics. So green is for forward, right? Push us. And I think won't be surprising, maybe 20, 30 years from now, we'll be spanning 5 kilometers. And I think that is something in offing right now. The impact economy. Second thing is economics. So green is for forward, right? Push us. And I think won't be surprising, maybe 20, 30 years from now, we'll be spanning 5 kilometers. And I think that is something in offing right now. The impact economy. Second thing is economics. So green is for forward, right? And I think won't be surprising, maybe 20, 30 years from now, we'll be spanning 5 kilometers. So these things will always play around these projects. They matter to the countries. Who doesn't want to live in a beautiful city? And I think that is something in offing right now. The impact economy. Second thing is economics. So green is for forward, right? And I think won't be surprising, maybe 20, 30 years from now, we'll be spanning 5 kilometers. So these things will always play around these projects. They matter to the countries. Who doesn't want to live in a beautiful city? And I think that is something in offing right now. The impact economy. Second thing is economics. So green is for forward, right? And I think Won't be surprising, maybe 20, 30 years from now, we'll be spending 5 trillion. So these things will always, it's a current data. So that means despite all the progress we have made play around these projects, they matter to the countries. Who doesn't want to live in a beautiful city? And I think that is something in offering right now. The impact economic scales, but these are the real numbers. Some of the examples from history, how much the projects have been delayed. It speaks volume. Now let's look at one of the projects which we are doing here, and I would like to briefly present you that what we have been observing, what we have encountered, how some of the things we have solved. A brief project introduction. I mean, this project is like a 12-kilometer long stretch, which has an undersea tunnel. There are 3 interchanges, there are bridges, there are roads, and put together it will create a traffic system going from north to south, which will be completely signal free. Human beings and vehicles will have no interaction with each other. The city is also going to get a lot of free space, and you will also have a 11 to 12-kilometer promenade. Actually, you can start at Worli and you can reach Nariman Point without interacting with traffic ever. So that's the project in nutshell. That's the layout of the project. Some of the features, what it will have technically in terms of several pedestrian underpasses, vehicle underpasses for a signal-less traffic. How it will look, you can see the amount of green space it will create. These are some of the recent pictures of what's happening on the project. Bridges, almost we will be reclaiming 110 hectares of land from the sea. So, and 70% of that will go into green zone. Only 30% of that is being used for the infrastructure. Again, some pictures from the project. That's the promenade I'm talking about. So, with all this, let's come back to the point what we came to discuss, how mega projects are getting built, what is the progress we have made. So this project is still under construction, and these are the 2 data points I have brought here for all of you. I think with time, nothing has changed much. You can see here, we are still, the job was to be done in 48 months. It's taking 75 months, likely, hopefully. And we plan to do it at, this is the base cost. I have not put escalation and other things on this. The moment I do that, the numbers will shoot up further. But that's on both sides. So literally 56% increase in time and 29% increase in the cost. What caused it? So what you see here is an image of the project, and is there a pointer in this? No. Okay, yeah. What you see here, this was the original design of the project, where we were to make 60-meter spans, precast segmental span-by-span method of a bridge. And this is the Koliwada village. We use this channel to go deep towards the sea. So somewhere right from the beginning, there was some kind of resistance that, you know, whatever you... And then they demanded that we need a bigger span here. Whilst there is a bridge going here, which is only 30 meters. So I think somewhere this brings the concept of how detailed our planning was when we were conceptualizing, when we were making it. And I'm saying this by all stakeholders, not to blame the client or the owners or any one entity, because we are an equal party to all such processes. So when this happens, a lot of works get affected. People want to stop the job. And then comes the bigger. So, I mean, this is the pictures of the kind of protest. They will just come with the small boats, block everything, you can't work. Larger span, what you see here are normal, you see this place to come the project, which means change your designs completely, work out a new solution. Let me tell you, whatever solution we brought, now we are almost off less than 12 months. That's why we chose a method wherein we could fabricate this whole thing outside, this whole structure outside. Another thing, when we started the project demanded that we have a foundation system in which the top of the pile cap is to be 500 millimeter below the seabed level. What this means actually, that you have to do your entire excavation in marine longer time. So to mitigate this, as a prudent contractor, we came with a first of a kind solution in the bridge system. So what you see here, normally you will have a group of piles like this, wherein you will do piling, make a pile cap and do. Instead of that, what we propose, let's drive a single shaft, which is sturdy enough, because monopiles have to be rigid as per design. They have to handle all kind of forces being a single entity. There is no big base available to them. So we changed that to monopile. It was never done in the bridge industry in India, wherein we had monopiles supporting 60-meter precast segmental spans. One span is weighing almost 2,200 tons in weight, and that's what was to be created. But luckily, I will say, we could do this, saved some of the time what you would have otherwise spent on the foundation system, and tried to bring back the progress. Of course, these are some of the benefits of the monopiles. What you see is one of the monopiles is under construction here, and you can see the marine fleet which is supporting for this construction. So, I have now 5 minutes left, and I would like to summarize that what basically, as per experience of a contractor, what we believe are the factors which actually make us go through this time and cost overrun. I think the first point is, maybe there may be very many architects here, or there could be planners sitting in this room, that we end up usually having an unrealistic plan right from the beginning itself. If you hear Mr. Gadkari saying that DPR is not done well, it's not that it is technically not done well only. The amount of time we need for a project, the kind of methodology we need to select, the kind of technology that will go, has largely been always aggressive, sometimes politically driven. Without naming a very well-known figure, I will quote you something which he said in a private meeting. How do you build mega infrastructure projects? You start. You start. Keep the hole getting bigger and bigger till you get enough money to fill it. So you have to just make the hole bigger and bigger. Because if you don't make that hole bigger, it has to be made bigger to a size that is too big to fail. And that's what we start with all big projects. One of the projects we are doing, I had tendered it with a 30 months duration. Knowing very well, telling the client ki boss, ye 30 mahine mein kaam nahi hota hai aapka. I think today is 120th month. We are working on that job. Still. So, this is I believe, the root cause. We don't want to admit we don't have right skill sets in the beginning, and without undermining anybody's competency in this room or outside this room. I still believe a lot has to be done in that area. Inadequate management of condition precedents. I think the example I showed you about the coastal road, this is not for the first time. We had a similar deja vu situation in the Bandra-Valley Sea Link. We are having it here. There are several projects we are doing in hydro. There are several metro jobs we are doing. We are doing a metro in this city somewhere. Again, it faced local problem. So condition precedents management, whosever job it is, that has to be done very well. The industry has a very good example for that. If you look at what happened in one of the famous arbitration cases, I'm not taking names, against a very, very important client in this country, we know how he lost and how much money they have to pay. It was a very large contract. They failed to manage a condition precedent. And that led them to make a payment of 7,000 crores to the other party, because it was a PPP contract. The whole calculations went different. So it can go bad for somebody in a very bad way. This has to be managed properly. Coming to contractor side, I always believe, are we absolutely best, doing everything correct? I don't think so. There is a lot to improve. There's a lot of improper project organization. I think by the time a news reaches me at my level, it's already 7 days delayed. By the time something has happened on the site, from there to the site engineer, to the section head, to the works manager, to project manager, to group project manager, and then coming to my level, we need to think about it. So in fact, we have cut down the structure on some of our projects now. There are some projects which directly report into you. The project manager can directly report into you. So these proper site organizations are very, very important to know things as and when they are happening. Again, contractor side, lack of skills in estimation and planning. And I think it's a problem which we all have to understand. Because if we had developed that capability that we can really react in real time, I think a lot of problems can be solved. But still that ability to act in the real time is missing, or has not developed to the level where we would like them to be. That is highlighting my third point. And where it is coming from. See, I think we hear a lot, ki AI, softwares, a lot of tools available, we can do this, that, blah, blah, blah. But where is the skill set lying to analyze their data? Are sites not preparing their reports? They are preparing every day. They are preparing their DPR. There is a POR report happening every day. There is a checklist happening every day. Those data are already getting created. How it is getting analyzed and how it is coming to you is one of the important factors which we all have to understand. And I believe unless a robust system is created around that, and not necessarily only, computer-based, it can be something very well system-oriented thing also. But that has to come. A change handling, something which we have to be always mindful of. They will always come, whatever we do, in all kind of projects. And one of the biggest issues we are facing today is the retention of skill set. Be it workers, be it planning engineers, be it your field engineers. That's something has to be worked upon. And this is my favorite slide. Give credit to BMC in managing this very well, because they had done a lot of pre-consultation with all the stakeholders, especially Worli residents, all those who are residing on that sea face. In addition to that, there was a requirement for the CRZ norms also to be modified, which they had undertaken. And once the proper approvals were there in place, I can say it was a work in progress. Whilst we got the job, the process of taking this approval was still going on. But by the time we reached to some substantial stage, they had brought in all those approvals in place. They had taken all the communities on board. There were a lot of public consultations. There were hearings right up to Supreme Court of India for that, and it was very, I can say, managed well in terms of meeting the requirements of everybody who was involved into it or affected by it.
So can we say that in the rest of the projects which are being delayed because of some environmental issues, we can say that it's because of lack of intent of the stakeholders in fulfilling the requirements?
Not always. I mean, there could always be some genuine issue which we need to solve. I believe once it came, for example, Coastal Road, there was a requirement that the CRZ regulation needs to be, modified for the kind of activity which we were undertaking. And that effort the owners of the project, BMC, took. Of course, we were supporting them into all technicalities and everything. But that genuine concern had to be answered. I won't say always it's a lack of intent. If there is a genuine issue, we have to solve it. We can't bypass that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Dharish here, 2014 pass out from NICMA, representing Yellow Sky today. So my question to you is, how do you ensure transparency and eliminate all the noise in the data while it reaches up to you from the site level?
You want my honest answer? Check karo. That's the only way. You have to check. You need to have some ability to cross-check. Because if you continuously keep believing that whatever is coming is right, I think this approach we have to take out from our head. It won't work. Human beings are human beings. I would like to please somebody who's above me, maybe, you know, by not letting him being too much worried. That could be one genuine concern from my side. But it's not a thing which is solving my project issue. So I believe teams may try to do something like that. And the only way to ensure transparency is to have a system by which you can check certain things very quickly. It could be in the form of some cross-tabulations, that whatever is coming out is, does it make sense or not? A site visit, having a system of parallel checks. That's my take on that. I think we would like to say that 99% of the team is honest, but work pressure, other requirements may force sometime people to misrepresent the data, and I think we should have a right way of gauging that. Yeah.
Sir, small question.
Sir.
In your speech, you talked about 3 topics. One you covered now, the inability to process data which comes to you from the bottom level. Number 2 is change handling, and you also talked about retention of the talent you're training. Change handling is a total management arrangement that's got to be created. And retention of trained staff, this loyalty program. How come there are some companies which are able to retain it and some we find a lot of attrition, especially in the construction industry? And as an iconic brand like yours, what have you been doing?
I will say one of the most important thing why we are able to retain people is the freedom we give them. I think a person, when he comes to his job, our philosophy is he has to feel happy. कि मैं कुछ करने आया हूँ इधर. मैं Pakistan, Prime Minister's office, having done this before, so that we are doing it. We want to see such large jobs, and then we want somebody to be not paid so well. I think that's a very big